In week 3, I didn't make too many changes to my passive skill tree. I was using blood magic, but you need mana in order to use tinctures. So I removed that, and I also removed this bleeding mastery cluster here, and I took this mana mastery cluster. This allows me to use tinctures and multiple auras. Right now, I'm using both Pride and Malevolence. Also, since you're constantly blocking, I also took this mastery passive to help with mana regen. So it took me a while, but I got it done eventually and managed to level to 97. As tanky as this build is, big bleeds can wreck me if I'm not paying attention, and certain mods can hurt a lot, like having minus 20 to max resistances. Also, one of my deaths was because I didn't see the fizz damage reflect mod on a map. If I took more care in the future, I could probably level to 98, which is the highest level that I've ever taken a character before in the past. But I'll have to wait and see whether I feel like going through the slog of leveling again. Farming wise, I played a lot of silo maps this past week. I mentioned this in last week's video that I was trying to farm awakened skill gems. If you aren't familiar with this method, it involves the destructive play Atlas Keystone passive, where a Maven Witness boss will have 1 to 3 other Atlas bosses summoned to fight depending on how many monsters remain in a map. Each boss will have a very small chance to drop an awakened gem. Silo is used because the map is fairly linear and the boss has invulnerability phases. So basically, you get to the boss, kill the additional bosses that are summoned, then portal out and leave before the map boss gets killed. This allows you to constantly farm one map for the chance of getting awakened gems. In week 3, I don't know how many silo maps I did, but I managed to get 7 awakened gems. Unfortunately, they were not the ones that I needed, so week 4 will be more silo farming for awakened skill gems. With respect to the Settlers League mechanic, I haven't done much portal running yet, but I have done some shipping. Shipping from King's March has been very rewarding this week for me. I usually tend to ship like maybe twice a day, and I still managed to get about 6 divs in total. This was not really using any strategy. I was just trying to fulfill whatever port orders were there to the ports that I was shipping to. Other than that, I've been trying to farm currency for a couple of crafting projects. Got really lucky and found 2 veiled orbs for my first 2 Katarina kills, so I'll be using those to try to craft a new axe. I got a bunch of Shaper shields and I farmed a fracturing orb I may or may not use. I took on a bunch of other bosses with this build, and I think I had the easiest Uber Elder kill ever. Then at the end of the week, I decided to try a tier 17, namely the Fortress map. Went pretty well, and I didn't have many problems with the boss. This build still isn't really optimized, so I'm wondering if I'll eventually be able to take on some Ubers. I did try a Sanctuary map, but the Maven mod where she's all up in your shit healing and being a dick made killing Lycia impossible, so I just gave up. So week 4 will be more farming, maybe some crafting, and maybe some more harder boss fights in tier 17. So that's it for now, and see you in 7 days.